Have you ever felt like you were speaking a language no one else understood? Like you were in a crowded room, yet somehow invisible? They looked at you, but never truly saw you. Maybe they laughed, rolled their eyes, dismissed you like your vision was too much, too strange and too different. But deep down, you've always known. You weren't broken. You were set apart. From the very beginning. This is the part of your story most people will never understand. And that's exactly why we're here today. I'm going to walk you through 6 hidden truths, 6 signs that explain why you've always been misunderstood. And when we reach the last one, you'll see your entire journey in a completely different light. It's the sign most chosen ones never recognize until it's almost too late. But when you do, everything changes. So, stay with me. This isn't just information, it's a mirror. You might see yourself clearly for the first time. If you've been feeling a shift inside, if your spirit knows there's a reason you've been set apart, you're exactly where you need to be. And if something in this message speaks directly to your soul, hit subscribe. It's not just for me. It keeps this channel alive in the eyes of YouTube and surrounds you with the truth that helps you step into the person you were born to be. Now, let's start with the first truth. And if you've ever felt isolated, what you're about to hear will change the way you see your past, and it's only the beginning. Have you ever wondered why certain seasons of your life felt like a desert? Not just dry, but unreachable. Friends faded. Opportunities slipped away. People you thought would be with you forever vanished without explanation. It felt like rejection, like life was closing doors in your face, and you questioned yourself. What did I do wrong? Why am I always the one left out? But what if I told you? It wasn't rejection at all, it was protection. When you carry something precious inside, heaven won't let just anyone get close. Think of a rare treasure buried deep underground, hidden not because it lacks value, but because it's priceless. Not everyone is meant to handle it. Your isolation wasn't meant to break you. It was meant to shield you. Because there were people and places that would have drained you, misused you, or tried to shape you into something you were never meant to be. Sometimes the worst thing that could have happened was being accepted by the wrong crowd. Looking back, can you see moments where losing someone or something actually saved you? The loneliness wasn't easy. Nights where your pillow caught more tears than friends ever did. Days scrolling through your phone, realizing no one checked in. It wasn't that you weren't lovable. It's that your path is narrow, and narrow paths don't have traffic. Your isolation made room for something else to grow. Your voice, your discernment, your connection with God. When the noise fades, you finally hear the whisper of heaven. You began noticing patterns, feeling energy shifts in a room, sensing when something was off, even without proof. That's not random. It's the sharpening of your spiritual senses. The season you thought was punishment was preparation. Like an archer pulling back a bowstring, the further back you're pulled, the farther you'll fly when released. Your isolation has been that pullback, and soon the release will come. But isolation does more than protect. It exposes spiritual warfare. When the enemy can't reach you directly, he'll try to convince you you're forgotten, invisible, without impact. That's why the next truth is so important. It explains why the attacks on you have felt so personal, so targeted, as if something saw your light long before you understood it yourself. If this is speaking to you right now, take a moment to subscribe, not just to follow another video, but to tell the world this truth matters. Now, if isolation was protection, what you're about to hear will show you why your difference has always been seen as a threat, and that realization could shift everything for you. From a young age, you probably noticed it. You didn't think like everyone else. You didn't feel like everyone else. You questioned things most people just accepted. Some admired that, many didn't. Some avoided you, some mocked you, some even tried to silence you. Why? Because your difference exposed their limits. Imagine you're a light in a room where everyone's used to the dark. Your light makes them squint, forces them to see what they'd rather ignore. And instead of saying, "Thank you," they push you away. Many chosen ones live this without realizing it. It's not that you were wrong, it's that your existence challenged their comfort zones. And here's what most don't talk about. Your difference doesn't just make people uncomfortable. It attracts resistance in the spiritual realm. When you carry light, darkness notices, not just in people, but in atmospheres. Ever walked into a place and felt tension without a word spoken? Your presence shifts the environment. You don't even have to speak. Your spirit already does. And carrying something powerful means it can't be ignored. It will inspire some and irritate others. But here's the trap. When attacked for your difference, you may try to shrink yourself, dim your light to avoid causing problems, blend in to stop being a target. If you've tried, you already know. It doesn't work. No matter how much you blend, your spirit refuses to disappear. Think about moments you were misunderstood. Was it because you were wrong? Or because you were ahead of your time? Speaking from a higher perspective, seeing solutions before others saw the problem. Your difference wasn't dangerous. It was uncontrollable. That's why certain doors never opened. Not because you weren't qualified, but because you wouldn't compromise your truth. That's why certain people left. Not because you lacked value, but because what you carried would demand they grow, and they weren't ready. Many chosen ones repeat the same cycle, shining, getting attacked, pulling back, then realizing they can't stay hidden forever. Once you see it for what it is, you stop taking it personally. If your light bothers them, it means your light is working. But being different doesn't just set you apart. It sets you on a path few will ever walk. A narrow path. One that feels lonely, but leads where the crowd will never reach. Before we go there, remember this. If you've been attacked for your difference, it's proof you have something worth attacking. And the enemy doesn't waste bullets on empty targets. If this is resonating right now, take a second to subscribe. It helps voices like ours stay visible in a world that tries to drown them out. Next, we'll uncover why your path has been so lonely. It's not coincidence. It's by design. And once you see the purpose, the loneliness won't feel the same again. There's a reason your path has never been crowded. It's not because you're going the wrong way. It's because few are willing to take it. The narrow path isn't just about morality or discipline. It's about alignment. It's walking in a direction most can't even see, invisible to the natural eye. Picture it, a wide road full of noise, lights, distractions, crowds moving together, and then a small side trail appears. No signs, no cheering crowds, just a quiet way leading away from the familiar. Most won't notice it. Those who do will hesitate. It's not paved, not easy, not popular. And yet, something in your spirit said, "This is the way." You didn't have a map. You didn't know the distance, but you stepped onto it anyway. That's when the loneliness began. The narrow path isn't only about who you meet, it's about who you lose. Friends who can't understand your choices, family who think you've changed, people who once walked beside you but turned back to the wide road. It hurts. You remember the laughter, the shared moments, the comfort of company, but the narrow path requires letting go, not because they're bad, but because they're not assigned to your destination. If you keep forcing people to walk with you, they'll slow you down, sometimes pull you back. The narrow path also teaches silence. Not every step will be celebrated. Not every victory will be noticed. Sometimes you'll achieve something powerful and the world won't clap, but heaven will. The narrow path is measured not by applause, but by alignment with your calling. And yes, we long for connection. On this path, those who truly understand you are rare, but they exist, and when you meet them, there's no need to explain your soul. They recognize you instantly because they're walking their own narrow path too. That's one of the hidden blessings. While the crowd may leave, your tribe will find you. Before they do, there will be seasons of just you and God. Those aren't punishment. They're where your faith, identity, and resilience are built. Like climbing a mountain, the higher you go, the thinner the air. Not everyone can handle the altitude. Some stop halfway, some turn back. But you keep climbing. At the summit, the view makes every lonely step worth it. And walking this path sharpens your vision. You start seeing what others miss: patterns, spiritual signals, hidden dangers. Which brings us to the next truth. The very reason you've survived this journey is because you've always seen beyond the surface. That ability has shaped your destiny. There's something about you that has always been different. You don't just see what's in front of you, you see through it. Where others notice only the obvious, you catch the subtle shifts, the tone in someone's voice, the heaviness in a room, the way someone says, "I'm fine," while their eyes tell another story. This has been with you since you were young. Maybe you called it a feeling or gut instinct, but what you were experiencing was spiritual discernment. It's like having another set of lenses. While the world sees in 2 dimensions, you see in 3. You notice the shadows others miss. You catch the light before it's fully visible. This is no random trait, it's a gift. And like most gifts, it comes with both blessing and burden. Because when you see beyond the surface, you can't unsee. You sense danger before it arrives. You notice when people are lying to themselves. You pick up on atmospheres no one else feels. It can make you feel like a stranger in your own world. How do you explain what you see to someone who believes only in what they can touch? That's why many chosen ones are called too sensitive or accused of overthinking. But you're simply tuned to a different frequency. And this vision isn't just for protection, it's for direction. Think back to moments you felt an urge to change plans and later learned something bad happened where you were supposed to be. Or when you met someone and instantly knew they would play a role in your story, for better or worse. That's not coincidence. That's discernment guiding your steps. It's why your life has never been normal. When you can see beyond the surface, God will place you where that vision can protect and guide not just you, but others. Sometimes it's a quiet warning to a friend. Other times, it's reading between the lines and pulling out the truth, or simply knowing when to walk away before something explodes. But here's what many miss. This gift draws opposition. Because the enemy knows, someone who sees the trap is harder to catch. So don't be surprised if people try to discredit you, make you doubt yourself, or tell you it's all in your head. That's not just doubt, it's strategy, meant to silence your sight. The more you embrace this ability, the more confident you become. You start trusting the quiet nudges. You stop seeking the crowd's approval and move with heaven's confirmation. But seeing more means you can't settle for less. And that restlessness has been leading you somewhere greater. In the next part, we'll talk about why you've never been able to just accept what's in front of you, and why that's proof you're being pulled towards something bigger. There's a fire inside you that's never gone out, even in your lowest seasons, even when life told you to be realistic. Something deep inside kept whispering, "There's more." It's why you've never been satisfied with what most call enough. Why the idea of a safe, predictable life feels suffocating. Every time you tried to settle, something inside began to ache. This isn't greed, this isn't arrogance, it's destiny. You were made to long for more because your calling was never meant to be small. Picture a bird in a cage, beautiful, even comfortable. But no matter how much food and water it has, it will always look toward the open sky, because its wings were made for more than the bars around it. That's you. Maybe you've tried to silence that desire, telling yourself to be grateful. But gratitude and growth can live in the same heart. You can thank God for where you are and still believe He's taking you further. That restlessness, it's not a flaw, it's a compass. It's pulling you toward assignments, places, and people that match the magnitude of what's inside you. But moving toward more comes with a cost. Not everyone will understand why you left a good situation. Some will accuse you of being ungrateful or unrealistic. If you're not careful, their voices can make you doubt your own. Remember, the call on your life wasn't given to them, it was given to you. When you carry a calling like this, settling for less feels like betrayal, not just to yourself, but to the one who gave it to you. Think about the times you walked away from what looked perfect on paper, the job that made sense, the relationship that promised safety, the option that offered security. You walked away because something in your spirit knew, this isn't it. And every time you honored that inner knowing, you made room for something greater. This refusal to settle has been shaping you for the final truth. The reason you've never stayed in small spaces is the same reason you've faced so many battles. You've been marked from the beginning. An invisible seal has set you apart since before you spoke your first word. The enemy saw it. That's why he tried to break you early and flood your path with distractions. Because if you ever fully step into who you are, nothing will be the same again. In the next part, we'll talk about the one truth most chosen ones don't see until it's almost too late. But when you do, it changes everything. Before you took your first breath, something was spoken over your life. Ancient, eternal. You weren't just born, you were sent. A mark was placed on you, invisible to human eyes, but impossible to ignore in the spiritual realm. A seal heaven recognizes instantly, and so does hell. That's why your story has been anything but ordinary. From the start, you were set apart. Even before you understood different, you felt it. You didn't blend in, no matter how hard you tried. Your mind worked differently. Your heart carried weight others didn't feel. And because of that, the battles came early. Have you ever wondered why opposition found you so young? Why challenges came before you even had the strength to face them? The enemy saw the mark. His strategy was clear: break you before you rise, so he wouldn't have to face you fully awake. But here's what he didn't count on. Every attack proved the value of what you carry. You weren't spared from pain, but you were preserved through it. Every wound became a scar with a story the world needs to hear. This mark doesn't just speak to your past, it declares your future. Like a royal seal on a letter, it proclaims ownership, authenticity, destiny. You've walked with heaven's seal over you, even when you felt invisible. And that's why, deep down, you've always known. You're not here by accident. Your steps are ordered, even when uncertain. The mark is why certain doors opened that should have stayed shut. Why you survived things that should have destroyed you. Why people have been drawn to you without knowing why. And hear this, the mark is still there. It's never left you. Not through mistakes, doubts, or seasons far from God. What heaven marks cannot be erased. This is the final truth, the missing piece that explains everything. Why you were isolated. Why your difference felt like a threat. Why your path was narrow and lonely. Why you saw what others didn't. Why you could never settle for less. It's all because you were marked from the beginning. When you accept this, everything shifts. Your past becomes testimony. Your wounds become proof you were built to overcome. Your future stops feeling uncertain and starts feeling inevitable. Now, stay with me for the conclusion, because we're about to tie all of this together so you leave not just inspired, but ready to walk fully in who you were always meant to be. You didn't find this message by accident. You were guided here. Every moment you've listened has been another confirmation your story is not random. Those seasons of isolation, protection, the times your difference felt like a burden, your greatest weapon, the narrow path, leading you where only the chosen can go. Your ability to see beyond the surface, a divine gift sharpening in silence, your refusal to settle, your spirit remembering its origin. And that invisible mark? It's been there from the very beginning. This isn't just encouragement, it's a reminder of your assignment. You've been trusted with something sacred. Not everyone will understand or celebrate it, but those meant for you will recognize it instantly. You are not ordinary. You were never meant to blend in. You were meant to stand out, even when it costs you. So next time you feel misunderstood, remember you're speaking a language only the chosen understand. Next time you feel alone, the narrow path is supposed to feel that way. And when you feel that restless pull for more, it's heaven calling you forward. If this spoke to your spirit, I want you to do two things. First, share this with another chosen one, someone questioning their journey, someone who needs to know they were marked from the beginning. Your voice could be their confirmation. Second, and if you've made it this far, write in the comments, "I will walk in my calling." There's power in declaring it. When you write it, you're choosing to live as the person you were always meant to be. And before you go, if you're ready to keep growing, click the video on your screen now. What you'll hear there will show you how to recognize when your breakthrough is right in front of you. Your journey is just beginning.